The sound of voices echoed before his eyes opened. He tasted metal in his mouth. His skin felt damp. His chest ached with each breath. He blinked slowly. Bright green light leaked through vines above him. He was lying on soft moss, and beside him 2 strange alien girls were staring down at him. "He wakes," one said in a deep, proud voice. She wore armor made of bone and leather. Her red eyes glowed slightly. She stood tall, strong. "Like a warrior queen. He's mine," said the second girl, softer. She had silver skin and hair like glowing silk. She looked gentler, but her eyes had sadness in them. Deep sadness, like someone who had waited for a long time. The man blinked again. He tried to sit up. "Where am I?" he asked, voice dry. The warrior girl crossed her arms. "You are in the sacred grove," she said. "You fell from the stars, just as the old sign said." The soft one knelt beside him and offered a drink. "You are safe," she whispered. "You are." "Our husband," he choked on the water. "What?" The crowd around him began cheering. Dozens of alien faces, each from a different species. Drums beat in the background. Someone threw flower petals into the air. The warrior raised her arms and shouted, "He has returned, and the claim begins. Let the trial decide who keeps him." The man was pulled to his feet. His legs shook as he looked at the 2 women. "Wait," he said. "What trial?" "I didn't agree to anything," but no one listened. The elder of the tribe, a tall creature with glowing antlers, stepped forward. "Both Zara and Lily claim you as mate," he said. "But there can be only one. Tomorrow at dawn, the trial begins." Zara, the warrior, smirked at Lily. Lily lowered her eyes and said nothing. "I'm not someone's prize," the man said. "I don't even know who I am." The elder placed a hand on his shoulder. "You will remember soon," he said. The stars always return their memories. That night, they gave him a tent, food that smelled sweet but looked strange, and a name they had picked for him, Ethan. He sat by the fire, his head spinning. Zara entered first. She sat across from him, sharp eyes watching every move. "You are strong," she said. "I watched you breathe life back. Only true mates do that." Ethan stared at her. "I don't even remember landing here." Zara leaned in. "I don't care," she said. "The trial is a formality. I will win." She stood and walked out. Moments later, Lily entered, holding a glowing flower. She placed it near him and sat quietly. For a long time, she said nothing. Then, "Finally, I knew your voice," she said softly. "I heard it in my dreams long before you came." Ethan looked at her. "You're serious?" She nodded slowly. "Maybe we were lovers in another life," she whispered. "Maybe I waited too long." He sighed and looked at the stars above. "I didn't ask for this," he said. "I don't even know what trial means." Lily's voice trembled. "It means we fight, with words, skill, mind, and soul. To prove who deserves you most." Ethan stood up, angry now. "That's not love," he said. "That's madness." She looked up at him. "But here, it's tradition." The next morning, the sky burned red. The tribe gathered around the circle of challenge. Zara held a spear. Lily held a book of songs. The elder raised his hands. "Let the trial of claim begin." Ethan stepped forward, shouting, "No, I'm not choosing. I won't be part of this game." But no one listened, and above them, high in the sky, a hidden satellite turned, watching him, and a voice whispered through the dust, "Subject 14 located, begin memory unlock sequence." Ethan woke to the sound of drums. Outside his tent, voices chanted in a strange rhythm. The trial had begun, but not in the way he expected. There was no fighting yet. Instead, each girl had one full day to show Ethan their world, their skills, their values, to prove who would be the better mate. Zara went first. She arrived in full armor, made from bone, metal, and something that Looked like crystal. She held out her hand. "Come," she said. "Today, you become strong." Ethan followed her through the jungle. They reached a clearing where targets stood lined up. Zara handed him a spear. "Throw," she said simply. He held it awkwardly. It was heavier than he expected. When he threw it, it spun sideways and landed in the dirt. Zara raised an eyebrow. "Not bad for someone with soft arms," she said. With a half smile, she moved behind him, corrected his stance. Her hand on his shoulder was firm and warm. They trained until the sun touched the trees. Ethan's muscles ached, his arms burned. But he couldn't help laughing. Zara laughed too. It was loud and real. Later, they sat near a waterfall. She offered him cooked meat. He looked at it cautiously. "Don't worry," she said. "It won't bite you." He took a bite. It tasted like smoked chicken, but with a hint of something wild. He nodded. "Not bad." Zara leaned back on the rock. Her eyes on the sky. "I was trained to protect." She said, "Not to feel. But when I saw you, something broke inside me." Ethan looked at her carefully. She didn't seem like someone who broke easily. She was proud, strong, and confident. But under all that armor, he saw it. Loneliness when the sun set. She walked him back to his tent. Before leaving, she looked him in the eyes. "You need someone who will fight beside you," she said. "I will be that one." The next morning, Lily came for him. She wore simple clothes made of soft blue fabric, no weapons, no armor. Just a gentle smile. "Come," she said. "Today, you learn to listen." They walked to a quiet garden, full of glowing flowers and singing stones. She handed him a smooth, round shell. "Touch this," she said. "When you do, it shows you what the plants remember." Ethan touched it. Suddenly, he saw a memory. A girl crying in the rain, sitting under a tree. It was Lily, years younger. She was alone. The village didn't want her. Ethan pulled his hand back, breathing hard. "What was that?" "Memory," Lily said softly. "The land remembers pain, just like we do." They spent the day mixing herbs, healing cuts. She showed him how to listen to the sounds trees made when wind passed through. "It's a language," she said. "Nature speaks, but few hear it." Ethan helped a young boy with a fever. Lily smiled as Ethan placed a cool leaf wrap on the child's head. "You are gentle," she said. "Your hands heal, even without knowing how." Later, they sat by a glowing pool. Lily sang a soft song. Ethan closed his eyes. The tune felt familiar, like a dream he'd forgotten. "I've sung this every night since I was little." She whispered, "I always believed." "You'd hear me?" He opened his eyes. "Why me?" he asked. "Why not anyone else?" She smiled sadly. "Because I saw you in the stars." At night, he returned to his tent, torn. Zara made him feel alive. Strong, powerful, Lily made him feel safe, seen and human again. He sat by the fire, thinking, and then he saw it again. Flash a memory. He was in a lab, wearing a uniform, talking to a voice behind glass. "Subject 14 is stable," the voice said. "Prepare for long-term cryosleep." Ethan gasped. His heart pounded. Was he an experiment? He didn't sleep that night. And when dawn broke, he knew one thing. This trial wasn't about choosing between two women. It was about remembering who he really was and what he had been made for, somewhere above. A shadow moved in orbit. The satellite blinked once. Subject 14 memories at 12%, accelerating. The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. Ethan walked alone, trying to clear his mind, but something inside him had started to crack open. Each step brought back flashes, images he didn't understand. White walls, wires, and cold machines. A woman's voice calling his name, a needle in his arm. And the words, Subject 14. Prepare for isolation. He stumbled forward, holding his head. The world spun. Trees turned into blinking screens. Voices echoed. Test subject stable. Human body shows high adaptability, potential use, cross-species bonding. He collapsed to his knees, gasping. Sweat dripped from his face, and then he saw her, Lily. She appeared beside him like a breeze. Her soft hands touched his forehead. "You're burning," she whispered. "Come." She helped him walk to a shaded grove. She wiped his face, placed a flower beneath his tongue. "It will cool the fire in your head," she said. "I saw something," he murmured. "Wires, labs. People using me." Lily's face turned pale. She looked away. "I thought that might happen," she said softly. "What do you mean?" Ethan asked. "There's something here," she said. "Something hidden near the old ruins. It calls to people with broken memories." Ethan sat up straighter. "Take me," she hesitated. "If we go, the trial ends," she warned. "You may lose both of us." Ethan looked into her eyes. "I don't care about winning," he said. "I just want the truth." She helped him to his feet. They walked deep into the jungle. Past trees that hummed with energy, past stones that glowed. As they passed, finally, they reached a clearing. A ruined tower stood there. Half swallowed by vines and earth, metal panels peeked out from moss-covered walls. The door was cracked open. Light blinked and sighed blue and cold. Ethan stepped through. Dust floated in the air like stars. The floor hummed under his boots. He touched a console. It lit up. "Welcome back, Subject 14, a robotic voice said. "Please confirm identity." Ethan froze. "Subject 14. "That's me." Lily stayed by the door, watching, afraid, but curious too. The screen showed old files, images of Ethan in a cryopod, test logs, performance charts, lines like high bonding potential across species detected, compatible. With Class B matriarchal societies, he read the words slowly. He had been sent to study cross-cultural unity, but something went wrong. The pod was lost, he was forgotten. Lily stepped closer. "You weren't just asleep," she said. "You were sent here on purpose." Ethan clenched his fists. "I was an experiment," he whispered, "even my kindness." "It was programmed." Lily touched his hand. "No," she said, "kindness can't be coded. It's who you are, not what they made." He looked at her, really looked. Her silver eyes held no lies, only quiet strength. Suddenly, a beep echoed in the room. "External signal detected," the console said. "Transmission from orbital satellite received. Message, status check on Subject 14. Lily's face turned white. "They're still watching." "We need to leave," Ethan said. He shut off the console, grabbed her hand. But before they could exit, Zara blocked the door. She stood tall, spear in hand, eyes full of fire. "I warned you," she said coldly. "This is not how the trial works." Ethan raised his hands. "I didn't mean to betray anything," he said. "I just needed to know who I really am." Zara stepped closer. "You're mine," she said. "You promised to be fair, but you ran away with her." Lily stepped forward. "Let him choose freely," she said. "He's not a prize, he's a person." Zara's eyes softened for a moment, but she shook her head. "You made me feel weak," she said, "and that's something I won't forgive." Ethan looked at both of them. "I didn't ask to be the center of this," he said. "I don't want to hurt either of you, but I will not be controlled." Suddenly, the air around them shifted. A blue beam from the sky hit the ground outside the ruins. Machines were coming. Real ones, not from the tribe, but from the stars. The console beeped again. "Extraction party inbound." Ethan turned to Lily and Zara. "They're coming for me," he said, "and I don't know what they'll do if they take me back." Both girls looked at him, for the first time not as rivals, but as protectors. Lily took his left hand. Zara took his right, and in silence, all three ran from the ruins. Together, the sky above the jungle cracked open with thunder. A silver beam had struck down near the ruins, and now the clouds twisted. unnaturally, like they were being pulled by machines. Zara, Lily, and Ethan ran. Their feet pounded across wet earth. The jungle trees whispered above. As if warning them they're not from the tribe, Zara said. They're from your sky. Ethan nodded, breath short. Someone knows I'm alive now, he said. They're coming to take me. Lily glanced at the sky. A blinking light circled above them, too fast, too perfect to be natural. A satellite, she whispered. They see everything. They reached a cliff ledge and paused. Below, a valley stretched wide. In the center stood an old tower, black and broken, but tall. Ethan pointed. I saw that tower in my dreams, he said. It might have what we need. What's in it? Zara asked. A signal booster. Ethan said, if I can control it, maybe I can talk to them. Or warn them to leave us alone. The storm grew louder. Lightning flashed purple in the sky. A mechanical whine echoed in the distance, getting closer. They climbed down fast. Rocks slid under their feet. Rain started falling, cold and sharp. The air smelled like metal and dust. Ethan stumbled halfway. Zara caught him by the arm. Don't slow down, she said. If they land before we reach the tower, we lose everything. They reached the valley floor, ran toward the tower. It was half buried in vines and rust. The door wouldn't open. Zara slammed her shoulder into it. The metal groaned, then gave way inside. The air was thick and hot. Old machines hummed faintly, like they were waiting. Ethan walked to a cracked control panel. He wiped away dust and pressed a blue button. BEP. The room lit up. A female voice echoed. Command access required. He placed his hand on the scanner. A flash of red passed over his skin. Subject 14 confirmed. The voice said, Welcome home. Zara and Lily stood close. Neither spoke. They watched as Ethan moved between panels, activating switches, turning knobs. Old systems roared to life. A tall antenna rose from the tower roof. A signal launched into the clouds. Seconds later, a message returned. Rescue vessel en route. ETA, 18 hours. Ethan stared at the screen. His chest tightened. 18 hours, and he could go back to his world. But would he? He turned to Zara and Lily. They were both soaked from the rain. Their eyes fixed on him, not with anger, but worry. You're going home, Zara said quietly. It wasn't a question. It was a statement full of pain. I don't know. Ethan whispered, I don't even know what home is anymore. Suddenly, a sharp bang hit the side of the tower. The outer wall dented inward. A second bang followed. They've found us, Lily said. They'll try to take you, Zara grabbed her spear. No one's taking him while I breathe. Another crash. This time, the wall split. A black flying drone hovered outside. Its red eyes scanned the room. Subject 14. It spoke in a deep voice. You are under galactic recall order. Comply or face extraction by force. Ethan stepped forward. I'm not your test rat anymore, he said. I'm done being used. The drone charged its weapon. But Lily moved first. She threw a glowing flower at it. The drone paused for a moment. Sensors confused. Zara didn't wait. She leaped forward and stabbed her spear straight through the drone's core. It sparked, spun, then fell from the air. The girls stood beside Ethan, one a warrior, one a healer, and both ready to fight for him. Ethan looked at them both, then at the tower's console, and made a choice. He opened the comm line. This is Subject 14, he said into the mic. Cancel retrieval. I'm not coming back. Static buzzed. Then a cold voice replied, Override request denied. Extraction team en route. The light above the tower turned red. Zara clenched her fists. Lily stepped closer to Ethan. What now? She whispered. Ethan turned slowly. He looked at them both, his voice steady. Now, we prepare to fight. The jungle was tense. Birds no longer sang. The wind carried silence. Ethan, Zara, and Lily moved quickly through the trees. The destroyed drone lay behind them in pieces, but more would come. They had no more time to run, no more places to hide. So they did the only thing that made sense. They returned to the tribe. The walk back felt different now. The same paths, the same plants, but Ethan's heart beat louder in his chest. Because he wasn't just a lost man anymore, he was a target. And worse, he might bring danger to the ones who had protected him. The tribal camp saw them coming from afar. Children ran and pointed. Elders rose from their stone seats, Zara's. Mother the clan leader stepped forward with sharp eyes. "You were warned," she said coldly. This trial was sacred. Zara dropped to one knee. "I did what I thought was right." She said he needed answers. Lily stood quietly, her hands folded. She didn't speak, but she looked straight at the elder. No fear in her eyes. Ethan stepped forward. He raised both hands. "I need your help," he said. "There's a ship coming for me." The crowd gasped from the stars. One warrior asked. "Yes." Ethan nodded. "They want to take me back, but I don't want to go." Murmurs spread like fire. One of the elder warriors shouted, "Then leave now, human, before your kind brings death from above." Zara's mother raised her hand. "Enough," she said. She looked at Ethan, her voice low and serious. "If you stay, they may destroy us," she said. "But if you leave, you break two hearts." Ethan looked at Zara, then at Lily. They stood close, but not touching, waiting for him to speak. "I don't know what to do," Ethan said. "I wasn't made for this." Suddenly, a voice spoke behind him. "I think you were." Ethan turned. It was Kor, Zara's younger brother. He had always been quiet, but his eyes were sharp. "You brought two enemies together," Kor said. "Now our tribe stands on the edge of war or peace. And you must choose what kind of man you really are." The tribe prepared a meeting. Fire. That night, the flames burned high. Ethan stood in the center. Everyone surrounded him silent. Waiting, he looked up at the stars. Somewhere above, his rescue ship was coming closer. And with it, danger. He turned back to the people. "I came from the stars," he said. "But I found something here I never had up there." "Connection?" He looked at Zara. "You showed me how to be strong." Then he looked at Lily. "You showed me how to be kind." "I don't want to choose between you," he said. "I want to stand with both of you." Gasps echoed. Some people looked confused, others angry. The elder raised her hand. "This goes against tradition," she said. But then, Lee stepped forward. "I accept," she said. "His heart is big enough." Zara stared at her in shock, then, slowly, nodded. "I don't like it," she said, "but I trust him." The crowd began to murmur. Some clapped, some frowned, but just when peace seemed possibly, a sudden scream cut the air. A warrior fell to the ground with a blade in his back. Chaos erupted. People ran. Some grabbed weapons. Ethan turned quickly and saw the traitor Kor, holding a blood-stained blade, eyes full of rage. "You were never meant to stay." Kor shouted. "You pointed her." He pointed at Zara and her too. Pointing at Lily, Zara stepped forward. "Kor, why? You were our future," Kor said, "the strongest, the leader, and you bent for a starborn." Ethan stepped between them. "I don't want your tribe divided," he said. "I never meant to break your ways." But Kor raised a signal flare and shot it into the sky. A bright light exploded high above, visible for miles. A signal calling the ship down faster. "You've doomed us," Zara whispered. Kor turned and vanished into the jungle. Gone in seconds. Lily clutched Ethan's arm. "We have hours," she said. "Maybe less." The elder looked at the fire, then at Ethan. "Then we fight," she said quietly. "But if you stay, you fight with us." Ethan nodded. I will, for this tribe, for both of them. The sun had not risen yet, but the camp was already awake. Every warrior sharpened blades, every mother gathered children. Ethan stood at the edge of the camp. His chest was tight, his hands trembled. This was not a trial anymore, it was war. The ship from above was coming, faster than expected. And now the tribe prepared not just to protect Ethan, but to protect their home. Zara handed Ethan a short blade. You can still run, she said. I won't stop you. Ethan looked at her. Rain ran down her face like tears. I won't. Run, he said. This is my fight now. Lily approached with a glowing flower. She pressed it to his chest. For strength, she whispered. And to remind your heart who you fight for. Suddenly, the sound came. A deep hum from the sky. The ship, black and cold, lowered through the clouds. No lights, no warning, just steel and power. Ethan clenched the blade tighter. Around him, warriors stood ready. Bows, spears, claws, and old alien tech. Zara stepped to the front. Lily stood with the elders. Ethan stood between them, not as a leader, but as the one who brought this upon them. The ship landed in the field beyond the trees. The hatch hissed. Open and out stepped 4 armored figures. Tall, metallic, faceless, the lead machine spoke. Subject 14, it said. Return with us immediately. No. Ethan said clearly, I'm not your test anymore. The figure raised its arm. A glowing weapon formed at the end. Comply or be neutralized. Zara didn't wait. She charged, spear in hand. The machine fired, she rolled, slammed her spear into its side. Sparks flew, the fight exploded. The tribe moved like a single body. Some attacked the soldiers directly. Others protected the wounded and young. Ethan rushed toward one of the soldiers. He ducked under a blast, slashed with his blade. But it bounced off armor. Lily called out. From behind a tree, use this. She tossed him a small glass vial. Inside, a glowing powder swirled. Ethan smashed it against the soldier's chest. The powder burned through metal like acid. The machine screamed and collapsed. Good job, husband. Lily shouted. Ethan blinked. It was the first time she'd called him that out loud. Another soldier advanced. Ethan turned, but this one didn't attack. It spoke. You are not safe here, it said. You were designed for better, Ethan. Stared at it, his own face reflected in its polished mask. I was designed to be used, he said, but now I choose who I want to be. He drove the blade straight into its neck joint. The machine sparked, twitched, and fell. Meanwhile, Zara fought like fire itself, one arm bleeding, but she never slowed. She screamed the war chant of her people. A dozen warriors followed. Her charge, but then the lead machine fired a large blast. Zara was thrown backward. She hit a stone hard and didn't move. Ethan saw her fall. His heart nearly stopped. No. He shouted. He ran to her side. She was alive, but barely. Lily rushed over, placed healing flowers on her wounds. Her hands shook. She needs time, Lily said. But the battle isn't over. Ethan stood. Blood and mud covering him. The last machine raised its gun, aimed straight at Lily. Ethan didn't think. He threw himself in front of her. The blast hit his shoulder. Pain shot through his body. He dropped to one knee, but he didn't fall. He looked up at the machine and shouted, I'm not a tool. I'm not a weapon. I'm not your property. I am their husband with his last strength. He drove the broken blade into the soldier's chest, and this time it didn't bounce. It pierced the glowing core. The machine collapsed. The jungle fell silent. The smoke cleared. Only one figure stood in the middle, breathing hard. Ethan, the tribe gathered around. Zara limped toward him. Lily held his arm. They both stood at his side. You chose us. Lily said, no. Ethan whispered with a smile. I chose all of this. Zara nodded. You are one of us now. Above them, the ship began to lift away. No more soldiers came. No more warnings. They had been defeated not just by strength, but by will. Ethan collapsed in their arms, exhausted but alive. Ethan lay under the stars, his shoulder wrapped in soft bandages. His skin still burned from the blast, but his heart felt lighter than it had in days. The tribe sat around quiet fires. No drums, no chants. It's quiet breathing, the kind of silence that follows survival. Lily sat beside him, holding his hand. Zara stood close, watching the shadows like a protector. Neither spoke, but they didn't need to. The ship was gone, the machines were broken, and Ethan had made his choice. He wasn't going back. You stopped them, Lily said softly. Not alone. Ethan answered, I would have failed without both of you. Zara nodded, arms crossed, together. We stood like a wall, she said, and that wall did not break. Ethan smiled at her. You always speak like a warrior poet. Zara raised an eyebrow. I don't know what that means, she said, but it sounds strong. Lily giggled. Even through the pain, Ethan laughed. 2. The elder of the tribe approached. She walked slowly, but with pride. When she reached Ethan, she knelt beside him. You have brought trouble, she said, and you have brought change. Ethan looked down. I never wanted to bring danger, but you brought truth, she replied. You showed us that love is not a prize to win, but a bond to build. Zara lowered her eyes. Lily squeezed Ethan's hand tighter. The elder raised a glowing stone. It pulsed softly. This is the Heartstone, she said. It is placed in the homes of those who create a new path. She handed it to Ethan and to both girls. You three are no longer a trial, she said. You are a family. The tribe cheered not loud, but with honest smiles and nods. Some came forward to touch Ethan's hand. Others offered food or simple gifts. But it wasn't about celebration. It was about acceptance. That night, Ethan lay under a woven roof, the new home being built at the edge of the jungle. Zara carried stone and wood. Lily painted symbols of unity on the walls, and Ethan helped fit the pieces together. His shoulder still hurt, but his heart was full. Days passed, the jungle healed. The machines left behind had melted into rust and silence. The tribe returned to its rhythm, but something had changed forever. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Ethan sat between Zara and Lily. They all looked toward the horizon. Do you miss your stars? Lily asked. Ethan thought for a moment. I miss the mystery of them, he said, but not the cold. Zara grunted. Stars are good for stories, she said, but not for sleep. Lily leaned her head on Ethan's shoulder. Zara placed a hand on his knee, and for a long moment, no one spoke. Then Ethan broke the silence. I was created to bond with others, he said, a human test, a bridge between species. But here, he added, I became something else. Lily looked up at him. What did you become? He smiled softly. A husband. Zara smirked. Then act like one, she said. Tomorrow. We finished the roof. Ethan groaned playfully. You mean I finish the roof while you two supervise? Exactly, both girls said at the same time. They laughed together. A sound so warm the jungle itself seemed to hum with joy. Later that night, Zara stood on the edge of their home, spear in hand. She watched the stars. Lily lit soft flowers near the sleeping mats. Their glow danced. Like fireflies, Ethan watched them both from the center of the room. He didn't feel like a test subject anymore, or a soldier, or a visitor. He felt like a man who had finally arrived home, and as he drifted off to sleep, he whispered quietly to the night, I was created to connect, but here, Kia, I chose to stay, not because I was programmed, but because I was loved and above him. The stars blinked gently as if giving their blessing.